Do austerity measures actually work? Economic policy explained. Have you ever wondered how governments manage their budgets during tough economic times? One approach they often consider is austerity measures. These are fiscal policies aimed at reducing government budget deficits. They usually involve cutting public spending, raising taxes, or doing both. The main goal is to restore fiscal balance and reduce government debt. This is important to avoid default and maintain investor confidence. Now let's break down what happens when austerity measures are put in place. In the short term, these measures can lead to higher unemployment. When the government cuts spending, it often reduces public sector jobs. This can also affect private sector employment. Additionally, when taxes go up, households have less disposable income. This means people spend less, which can lower overall demand in the economy. As a result, we might see slower economic growth or even a contraction in the economy. But what about the long-term effects? They can be more complicated. If austerity successfully reduces debt levels, it can lower borrowing costs and improve economic stability. However, if spending cuts harm investments in areas like education or infrastructure, they may hurt long-term growth potential. In some cases, austerity has even been linked to rising debt-to-gross domestic product ratios. This happens because slower growth leads to lower tax revenues, which can offset the benefits of reduced deficits. The impact of austerity also varies based on the economic environment. When an economy is near full capacity, cutting government spending can help prevent overheating and rising interest rates. This could support private investment. On the flip side, during recessions or periods of economic slack, austerity can worsen downturns. This is because the fiscal multiplier, which measures how government spending affects gross domestic product, is larger in these situations. If monetary policy, like interest rate cuts from central banks, cannot counteract the negative effects of austerity, the impact on output and employment can be severe. Looking at real-world examples, the effectiveness of austerity measures shows mixed results. Some studies suggest that austerity can actually boost the economy if it creates confidence that encourages private demand. Others find that it worsens economic conditions and increases unemployment, especially during weak economic periods. In practical terms, whether austerity works depends on several factors. These include the initial fiscal situation and debt level of the country, the mix of austerity measures, the state of the economy, and how responsive monetary policy is to these changes. The social and political context also plays a role, as public support can influence how these measures are implemented. In summary, austerity measures can stabilize public finances, but they often come with the cost of slower growth and higher unemployment in the short term. Timing, targeted measures, and complementary policies are essential to improve the chances that austerity will be effective in achieving sustainable economic health.